Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And I want to get playing live again for YouTube. So for the next couple of months, I'm going to be playing through the best medium tanks, starting from tier 4 and working my way up towards tier 10. Although I will add the caveat that I'm going to pick a tank that I feel is sometimes easily accessible or sometimes just a large number of players are playing. So without further ado, let's take a look to see which the best tier 4 tanks are with regards to win rate difference. Wow, it's the A32. That's a very rare vehicle that was actually given to people, I think, as a pre-order bonus for buying one of the smaller packages of World of Tanks in 2011. However, Wargaming sold it, I believe, in a black market later on. It's been played less than 1,000 battles on the European server, and I don't really see Wargaming selling that thing very soon. Next up is the T28 EF. That's a tier 4 Soviet medium tank, and you know what? I actually fancy playing that one. Let's get a little bit filthy today, and let's go and get stuck in with this beast. This T28 EF is a bit of a weirdo because it was kind of a tech tree tank back in the day. It's basically a regular T28, which is still currently a tier 4 Soviet medium tank that had an 85mm gun. Wargaming decided it was too good, and so they removed the 85mm gun off this vehicle, and really you should be using the 57, or is it the 75 or 76mm on this vehicle. And I mean the tech tree tank, the T28 regular vanilla tech tree version of this vehicle, and it's the 57mm that you want to use on that vehicle, because while you have much worse alpha damage, you gain a huge amount of penetration, a huge amount of DPM, you gain some accuracy, all of that good stuff, which is why a lot of people, when they're playing at low tier in the T28, they can seal club very hard with that 57mm. So yeah, this gun was on this tank, well, the T28, by default back in the day, and it was performing so well that Wargaming decided that they had to remove it until about a couple years later when they brought it back as a low tier premium. As long as you paid them whatever it was, $5, $10 to be able to get your hands on this vehicle, then you could have the overpowered gun at tier 4. Although, to be fair, they did nerf quite a few of the other aspects of this tank to be able to bring it back. But still, as we saw with the statistics, even though they did reduce the speed of this tank to 35, so it isn't quite as fast as the regular T28, it is still performing very well indeed, giving the second best win ratio difference. And what is this? What is this queue time? Well, I guess I should thank Wargaming. They're just giving me an opportunity to chat. Oh no, they're giving me an opportunity to have to wait to be fed to tier 6 tanks. Oh well, you know how much I like these 3-tier spreads, so let's try and think, is there anything that I can support on a close quarters combat map? I think the Cromwell and the T34-85M will be the playmakers on our team. The VK possibly as well. It's an interesting one because none of the top tier tanks are heavies, and that's because look at this matchup, there's only one heavy tank on either side. So the T28 is kind of an ambush vehicle. It does have some armor that you can be able to make use of, but that's only when you're in a nice matchup. What I'm going to do in this tank is I'm going to get forward and try to make use of this big boy gun. That is what this tank is all about. The gold rounds on this tank as well have 160mm, 161mm of pen, and they have 120mm of pen on the standard rounds. And they hit hard. 160 at tier 4. You know, like the Matilda is probably the best tech tree medium tank, and that thing hits for like 50. So this thing's hitting 3 times as hard as the other, should we say, best medium tank. Well, I guess I should have loaded the gold right from the beginning of this game, right? And the KV1 manages to live, well, to fight another day. Although, to be fair, I wouldn't have exactly shut him down with a single shot. Man, that aim time is long, but the reward is good. And the DPM on this tank for such a big gun is still quite nasty. Is that BT7 about to make a mistake? He's thinking about it. Should we go for this BT7 instead? Where are you, my dude? There we go. There you are. Got to watch out for that KV1. He could have a derp gun, and this thing, it doesn't have any armor worth mentioning whatsoever. Well, looks like that tier 4 player's having some fun. Well, let's go say hi to him. Oh, Artie, not today, okay? I'm playing live for YouTube. Let me relax, okay? Let me relax, Artie. Relax, and let's see if we can nail this guy from around the corner. I'm going to fire an HE shell at the top of this building. HE shells, if you fire them where, like, the different parts of the building join up, will actually destroy more parts of the building. So definitely take that into account if you are trying to destroy buildings quickly in World of Tanks. All right, our first frag has been confirmed. Hopefully we can get another shell into that. Looks a little bit slow. These shells are quite slow, actually. 792. What's my gold rounds like? 990. Oh, these gold rounds would be pretty good. In fact, you know what? If I'm playing the most overpowered tanks, or the most powerful vehicles, that looks like a derp gun. That's terrifying. It wasn't actually the derp gun. He's using the same gun as me, but I'm at tier 4 and he's at tier 5, so if I can trade evenly with this guy, it's huge. He's got a dead gunner, so I'm just going to sit in front of him. Yeah. Shows you the eagle eye and having good crews at low tiers are massive, right? It's just those little things. And luckily, as this is a premium tank, I can take my 140 crew or my 430 crew. Sounds like my 140 crew, because my 430 crew has Uncle QuickyBaby, and I'm glad I don't have to share a mic with him today. But man, that little edge. Oh, Eagle Eye is definitely one of my preferred skills to take on a commander, although you can only really take it after you've got things like situational awareness and recon. Luckily on this vehicle, it's got 2 radio operators, which is bizarre. So that means that you don't have to take situational awareness on your commander. Although realistically, you're probably going to be using one of your high tier commanders, right? So your high tier commanders, they have to have situational awareness. It's definitely one of the downsides of a premium tank. Oh my god, look at that gun handling. That was lucky. It's definitely one of the downsides of a... what was I saying? Premium... Well, a premium tank is when you have, like, what you feel wasted skills. But then again, you can just have one crew for 2 tanks, which usually allows you to compound your research, which very much helps, right? Just looking after all of my hit points here if I can. Unlike him. Oh my lord, can you believe it? This is a tier 4 tank, by the way. Tier 4 tank. 1,600 damage. It's only 10 shots. Tier 4 tank, by the way, boys and girls. Worst possible matchup on a map that not a lot of people would like to play medium tank on. Uh-oh. Nice, the looks bounced a couple of shells. Oh, that was a bad shot. That was lazy. That was really lazy. There's no other way to say it. That was just a lazy shot. You're mirroring my actions, are you? That guy will reload before I will. Yeah, easy. The looks is coming back. Is he going on a party? The party looks. Are you looking behind you, T3485? It's only 2 vehicles left, and one of them's in the corner on full hit points. I was going to tell that guy I was going to help him. He's ammo racked as well. You can use it to take a look at your allies. Oh, I don't want to get nailed. Is he pushing me around the corner? I'm choosing to go to my death. Oh, I'm choosing to get the shots in. Hooray! Well, that is a pretty good start for a new season of Uncle QuickyBaby playing live for YouTube. 2,060 damage. Is this a tier 4 tank? I would have been happy with that game in a tier 6. I would have been pretty happy in a tier 7. I would have thought it's like an okay, if not a below average game in a tier 8. That's a good start for today. 1,341 base experience, 2,000 damage dealt, and because this is a premium tank and we didn't fire that much gold, we made 111,000 credits profit, although that was 65,000 from an event. So if we take the 65,000 off that, then it's pretty much about 50k profit. Not bad for a tier 4 tank, which is why a lot of people will be playing these vehicles. Okay, let's get stuck in again. And hopefully we won't have queue time, which is so long. And maybe Wargaming will give us a nice matchup. Can you believe that was the worst matchup that we could have for the vehicle? Man, the more that I look at this thing's statistics, it just has statistics in all of the different areas that you would want. AKA big gun, reasonable mobility. Okay, matchmakers challenging me. And this is where we've got good opportunities. You know, this is why we're playing live. So that we can see how we can deal with this. And honestly, that last game, probably because I'm playing a really good tank, but it actually felt like it was all right. It was okay. Okay, so as you can see, with a really good crew, if I use vents, turbo, and coated optics, I can actually get up to 445 meters on this tank. And that's quite an easy thing to be able to achieve. You could go and get yourself recon on your commander. You only need situational awareness on one of your radio operators, so that's even more simple. You can focus on things like brothers in arms, concealment on the other one early. So you could get a very good crew very quickly in a vehicle like this. As well as, in theory, crew train multiple radio operators for multiple vehicles. If that's your kind of thing. Alright, so with the turbo, I'm going to be getting more of like a top speed of 39 kilometers an hour. That's not too bad. I'm actually going to slow play this game. I'm going to go make my way down towards the south, and I'm going to go and try and get into the bushes. I feel like that's going to be the more sensible play for me. Man, this tank, this is one of the OGs of World of Tanks. It is. It's one of the OGs of World of Tanks. This was in the original version of the game. And when I say that, like 3 or 4 times original, that's because when the game first came out in the CIS region, in Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, etc., the game only had two nations. It was the USSR and it was Germany. Before, it was released in Europe and the US, which was in April 2011. The Americans were added to the game. So from a European player perspective, we always had the Americans inside the game on release. But from like a Belarusian perspective and Ukrainian perspective, obviously now with the Ukrainians mostly playing on the European server, which I'm really thankful for. And a big shout out to all of you Ukrainians out there today if you're tuning in and joining me over the last couple of years on YouTube and on Twitch. It's an absolute pleasure, and it's been so lovely to have all of you joining me for the content. But I digress, now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so basically the Americans weren't even in the game to begin with for those regions, I believe. But they were added in before obviously the game was released in America and released in Europe. Understandably so, right? And then the game just exploded with so many different nations. But this is just one of the OGs, one of the original Tier 4 mediums. I'm trying to think about what the original Tier 4 medium was for Germany. It was probably some kind of Panzer III. It's probably some kind of Panzer III, I'm thinking, a Tier 4. They had lots of different Panzers, lots of different tiers that seem to have just changed higgledy-piggledy all over the years. The iconic one for me was the Panzer IV at Tier 5 with the turret that's now at Tier 6. It's funny, that vehicle is quite similar to this one within that regard. That what Wargaming did is they realized that the Panzer IV turret was too good, aka the Schmaltern turret, and so they removed it from the tank and then they brought it back as a Tier 6 premium. But I don't think anyone would say the Schmaltern, the Panzer IV Schmaltern, is an overpowered tank because they brought it back in at Tier 6. However, Wargaming made this a Tier 4. I don't think this vehicle would have nearly been so good if they brought it back at a Tier 5. But considering what kind of an awesome win ratio the vehicle is getting, it probably would have worked at Tier 5. Oh, look at that. Clean. It probably would have worked at Tier 5. Unfortunately, I've only got 5 degrees of gun depression in this tank, so it's going to be quite tricky to handle these guys, but hopefully the designated target allows me to spot the M4 for a little bit longer, and boom, baby! It's a Tier 5 medium that we've just shaved half the hit points of. It's so nice to have alpha on a vehicle, right? But you don't want to sacrifice the DPM to be able to gain the alpha, at least all the time. Sometimes it works, you know? Funnily enough, on a Manticore it works. 390 alpha on a Manticore is pretty good considering its size. Yak Panzer 100, quite poor DPM. FE405, you know, the list goes on. Those tanks have big alpha, so, but look, I'm not saying that 160 is in the echelons of alpha like on those vehicles. But what I'm trying to suggest is that as this vehicle hits like, pretty much about nearly 3 times as hard as the 57mm, which is the best gun on the T28, it does compensate, and it does allow you to make those trades. Oh wow, that's a T6 medium with a big boy gun. That is a terrifying prospect. I'm going to have to call in some help here. He's going to be sneaking up there, probably expecting that I'm still there. What I think that I can't give him my backside because he's got the derp gun and I have no armor, so I've got to watch out for that. I'm going to see if I can sneak a shot here, but I'm going to be leaving my whole butt around the corner, so I'm going to have to be fast here. There we go, that's a good start. I'm hoping the bishop can help me. This game's actually won, so I don't know why I'm taking it so seriously. What can I say? I'm just in a good mood after that kind of like Easter holiday period. I've been taking it a little bit more easy on Twitch recently, as a lot of you will have been seeing. Kind of trying to claw back my my free time as well. Even though I know all I do is sit around and play video games, right? It's not a real job, but for the amount of time and attention after you've done something for 12 years, it's also important to recover some of that time and then to enjoy focusing back on it again. Beautiful. Oh, that's an awful shot. Should we ram this Stug? He can't turn if you push him forwards. I don't need to push him forwards anymore. Hopefully this guy shoots the bishop and not me. Oh, lovely. Man, this thing is just wow. It's pretty much just an all-purpose tank. I got 50mm of armor, so I should be able to take a hit from this guy. Huh? And when I think about it, 580 hit points doesn't even seem that bad for tier 4. Look, that SU-100, it's got 650. I've got 580. Crazy. That VK does have quite a lot more than me, but he's 2 tiers higher. Man, this thing, the list goes on as to why it's actually a very strong tank. How nonchalant was this battle? I felt it was as safe as houses. I could go and discuss things from 10 years ago inside the world of tanks in great detail, while also still clapping out. But ooh, maybe I've met my match here with the M4 improved. Gotta watch out, he's got the gun depression to get me if I crest the ridge too much. Oh, he's getting out-traded by a baby medium. As long as I don't fluff this shot, I should be okay. Whoa, no premonition! No premonition here! No premonition here! Hey, I'm not that slow. Not yet. I've been doing this for, this is into my 2nd decade. But I'm not that slow. Alright, good stuff. 1,772 damage and 3 kills. Again, worst possible matchup. This vehicle just absolutely performing. Man, this thing is an utter beast. Only a 2nd class medal this time. You know, oh well, only 3rd on damage, holding back a flanker against higher tier tanks single-handed and so on and so forth. Oh well, you know. With 2nd on XP. It's a good game. What is there to say? I took that game easy. I just wanted to make sure I held the flank. I wanted to try and hang on my hit points for later on. Because this vehicle, it's actually a very good sniper, as you can see. And if you can keep your opponents at a decent distance, oh, it's strong. Okay, so Deja Vu. For the 2nd time in this video, we're going to be playing on the Ensk map. However, the matchup is very different. Tier 4 only tanks. Tier 4 only tanks. No tier 3s, no tier 5s. Just me, a load of equal tier vehicles to deal with. There's no heavy tanks on the enemy team because there aren't very many tier 4s. Usually, matchups like this are only created if somebody signs up in like a B2740, because that has super preferential matchmaking. But looks like the Matildas are out in force, which again is one of the other most powerful medium tanks, right? By the way, this matchup just looks like it's predetermined. We've got super powerful Matildas. They've got tank destroyers there. It almost feels... This game, I'd be surprised if it isn't like a 15-2. I think the enemy will get 2 kills. I think it'll be 15-2 is what my prediction is for this game. But let's see if Uncle QuickyBaby is correct. Do I have XVM in my brain? To be fair, did XVM ever tell you it told you what the predicted win chance was, but I don't think it told you what the... Am I going to regret saying this now? Do you think these guys are going to be like, no, Mr. QB, we're going to prove you wrong in front of YouTube? Those are some okay shots. I'm happy with these shots today so far. I'm very happy with my marksmanship today. I need to play World of Tanks less. I swear... Oh, that was a bad shot. I need to stop speaking out my backside, Uncle Scrubs. I think, like, the less I play World of Tanks sometimes, the better I get. Oh, again, I missed the 2nd shot. I mean, what can I blame there? RNG? Yeah, I can blame RNG, I think. Ooh, what's that Matilda doing? Whoa, how am I missing all these shots? Time to hit some shots. To focus up. Oh, God! I'm actually trolling. I think I just missed 4 shots in a row like a complete donkey. Okay, let's fully aim. There we go. Can hit stationary targets, right? Just need all my enemy team to go AFK, right? Oh, well, they've got 2 kills already, so it looks like I was wrong about this 15-0 shenanigans. Look at that. Load the HE to knock through the building. Oh, my lord! We might actually have a game on our hands here, boys and girls. Let me tell you, we might actually have a game on our hands here. What's this? We might actually have a game on our hands here. I think I might be in trouble. Oh, my lord, look at this overconfidence. Look at this overconfidence. Oh, I jammed his turret. So if I push him backwards, he might not think about repairing his turret. Oh, I can't aim. Oh, no. Overconfidence to the extreme. I got humbled. Oh, my word. My poor marksmanship there was really what messed me up. My poor marksmanship was really what messed me up. And you know another thing that I didn't think about is that if we had all of these Matildas, of course the Matildas were going to go into the town. And so I went to a flank where I was almost guaranteed to get myself overwhelmed, right? Wow, really bad play. Yeah, just really poor play by me. I don't think the Matildas are going to carry me, but we'll find out if they do. I really deserve to lose this game. I aimed poorly, I was overconfident, and then I flustered in close quarters combat. I didn't see that the M5A1 was coming up behind me, and the M5A1 shot me like 5 times, and I only hit them once. That was just poor, especially when I locked down their turret. I was quite chuffed with the HE pen, though, on the Mardo. All right, what do we got? Matilda, unpainted. It doesn't really matter. Like, this tank is so good, even with just auto-aiming, as this Matilda is doing. The enemies aren't really going to be able to pen them reliably, even though Wargaming has actually recently nerfed the Matilda. Of course, if they shoot it in the backside, like a BT7 firing HE in the backside, it could still do some good stuff. And oh, that's a Hetzer. It's been nerfed, but has it been nerfed enough? We're going to find out whether the Hetzer's going to Hetz today. Is the Hetzer going to ruin my perfect win ratio? Oh, the Hetzer's actually using the 75mm gun on that vehicle. That's mad. We've got one Matilda to the side, unpainted, but has got some dog prints and some hot dog on it, so maybe he's going to be able to handle it. Oh man, it's going to be close. It's going to be a bit of a raid boss Matilda moment at the end. And this Matilda looks like he's played a few games. Man, I cannot believe how badly I judged this game. Complete overconfidence from my behalf there. And it really shows you why overconfidence is sometimes your biggest enemy inside World of Tanks, right? I thought, oh, look at all those Matildas. We've got the OP team. This is going to be super easy. And I should have read the matchup. But here we go, as is this Recresco. Recresco is going to be starting a 1 versus 4. Okay, Recresco is getting distracted by the BT7. He needs to stay on the Hetzer, because the BT7 is doing nothing, but the Hetzer is doing 100 damage a pop. So hopefully he'll just keep focusing this Hetzer down, and then after he's dealt with the Hetzer, he can turn his attention to the T28. That's what he needs to focus next. Put one more into the T28. Nice. But gosh, he's playing it well, but wow, he's got adrenaline rush. He has adrenaline rush on a Matilda. Wow. Oh, he's over here. He's over here. Watch. Oh, he nearly got there. So good. Well played to the enemy team. They deserve to win this one. I deserve the big fat L there. That was horrendous. This was an easy game for me to win. Look at that. Overconfident after smashing my 2 tier 6 matchups that I absolutely power throw against the puppies. But well played to the enemy team. They did a good job. And there's the one thing for certain, don't get overconfident. And also, be afraid of tanks like this, you know? You see like the M5A1 Stuart, that's a very good vehicle. And it's not a bad player. A lot of people drop down at these kind of tiers, and they do well in those vehicles. And Tiger Monster 99, he got me good. That's all there is to say. All right, so I finished number 1 on experience and second on damage, but I'm disappointed with my result. That's how you change what was a 100% win ratio session into being a, well, not. That's it. So now the pressure's on. Now the pressure is on, but this tank is still doing so much. All right, so we're in a matchup now against tier 5s. There's kind of like a baby Tog now. I didn't realize the Mitsu looks so much like a baby Tog. So on this kind of a map, I could go into so many places. There's two places which I like personally to go. One would be to go onto the street and then to try and shoot the enemy tanks as they manage to come in. And the second is probably to make my way east. I can start by trying to spot from here, and I like to work the corner over here and then shoot across these alleyways at the unexpecting tanks that are around here. In this kind of a matchup, I fancy my chances at long range. I think every time that I've been at longer range today, I think I've done better. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to aim at long range and hopefully not get flustered in close quarters combat. All right, like I did last game, right? Oof, oof. But that's how it goes. That is how it goes. All right, cool. So as I said, my preferred position to play at the start of this battle is to make my way forwards and go into a snipey position here. You don't have to worry about getting shot in the side when you're spawning from the south, but you do from the north. So let's see if we can get this M5A1 Stuart. I wonder if it's the same Stuart. Unless he's using the anonymizer, it isn't. Oh, that's a good start for me. Is he going to turn? No, he didn't turn as much as I thought he would. I thought he would hard turn and not just drive into the buildings. Okay, that's because he's crazy. That's because he's crazy. In World of Tanks, and this is especially important when you're aiming at EBRs, I like to aim at where I think my opponent is going to be, and then it's a lot easier to time the shots on them. Oh, no, 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 no. That is Bishop. That is one of the most annoying tanks that you could ever possibly play against. You just can't hide from it because of the crazy gun arc that the vehicle gets. All right, there's the Mitsu, the baby Tog. I'm going to go over here and try and support this T6 medium. You don't realize how big the T28 is, right? I don't. Oh, hello. I missed that shot. I don't think he's going to get his tracks back on, though, especially if I hit him for the second time. Yeah, that'll keep his tracks off. Good night, sweetheart. All right, so we've got a good amount of tanks over towards the east. I'm going to just make my way in through towards the center and see if I can go after this Mitsu over here. Is this too aggressive? It might be. Sometimes when I have a loss, I think that I start to play a little bit more cheeky. And that's not a good thing. You shouldn't change your playstyle emotionally. Wow, that STVZ39 had a good rate of fire, didn't he? Good night, T28. STVZ39 has a good DPM on that tank, but I've got the Alpha, so all I have to do is hit once for every time they hit me twice, but I don't want to trade against the Panzer IV, really. If I see the Panzer IV miss, I'll go out into the window and I'll prepare my shell. What? I bounced 160 millimeters of pen there. What's this Matilda doing? Oh, it's all going Pete Tong. It's all going all wrong, my friends. What? Why are you doing this to me now, T28? You want people to buy you, I guess? It's not like these tanks have feelings. Wargaming's like, yes, QB, we definitely want them to buy them. So they can go and make themselves look good at a tier that they probably should have grown out of a little while ago. Wow, what is wrong with my gun? Usually when you load the gold, you get better RNG. Why am I getting worse RNG when I load the gold? Oh well. What can I excuse? Say like it's just me giving the enemy team a chance? Yeah, that's it. I just felt bad because I'm playing this overpowered tank, so I just want to give the enemy teams a chance. Alrighty then, let's go after this Panzer 3J. Are all of these games in Tier 4 so fast? We haven't had any real close ones today. This is what, my 4th round that I've played, and they all just feel like they're super fast games. I don't like these super fast games. Usually the high... How many more shells do you want to bounce off me, STVZ39? Because it seems like a lot. Is the Mitsu aiming at me? Doesn't look like he's aiming at me. No, he's not. What's that bishop doing? Hello, little bishop. No, go forwards. Go forwards. Don't reverse. You've got to go forwards to get safe. Nah. I'm actually spotting him. Would you believe it? Can I get that Sal? Yes, I can. It's going to be a hard shot, though. This thing is not really that good of a sniper. Likes to prove me wrong, as always. Can we get a ram kill? Probably not necessary, but I believe the AEC is Tier 5, so that actually counts as a kamikaze medal as we shut down General Monty. It's a very fitting name for somebody playing a Tier 5 British wheeled vehicle, isn't it? Not a bad result. 1,800 combined and a couple of kills in this very, very strong Tier 4 tank. So all in all, the T28 EF30 used to be in the game as a tech tree tank, effectively, because this 85mm gun was on the T28. Now you're best to play the T28 with the 57mm, and I think the T28, if you're a very good player, that is the tech tree T28, is still a very good tank. This one, even if you're not a good player, is a very good tank for everyone. So if you ever do see this thing come up for sale or in some kind of an event, yes, it's a very strong tank, worth getting your hands on, very powerful, but I think at the end of the day, you just got to question why you were jumping down at Tier 4 and farming all the puppies. But you know what? Now that these tanks can make battle pass points, don't look any further. As we finish number 1 on damage, number 1 on XP, and it was a 75% win ratio session, doing just shy of 2,000 combines in Tier 4. Pretty meaty stuff. Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was it for today. Really hope you enjoyed this live format video for YouTube. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know what you think about Tier 4 medium tanks. Which is your favorite and why? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic and hopefully I'll see you soon.